Whew, what a fire. This is a great fire pit.
We sometimes cook here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Up there, right? Or do you cook on the fire pit?
Here we put, where it went?
The top to it? I put it
Yes.
over there just so it wouldn't be in the shot.
Yeah.
You put that up there and then what do you like, do you hang like different meats or things from it and then it just kind of gets cooked?
Yes, or we had this big iron, in the iron thing. What was the name of it? Yeah, iron pot.
Sure. Like a spit kind of situation?
The black one. That is very tough to clean.
Yeah, I threw it over there somewhere. I know what you mean. The grate that sits over the fire pit.
Yes, but then on top you put the pan.
Right.
The iron pan.
Yeah. So you cook pans on this fire?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What circumstances do you do that in? Is that like?
Sometimes, let's say me, Paul, and Wiz, and sometimes we do it. We do picnics, me and Wiz.
That's nice.
We love to do picnics.
And of course, you got to cook while you're doing your picnic, right?
Well, I prefer picnics because the picnic I already pre-cook everything and I just put it on the table.
Oh, throughout Vermont, I know. I mean, you've been here, what, 2 years at this point?
Yes.
And I'm sure you and Luis have explored a lot of different places, right?
Yes. Well, me and him, we are more like when we like one place, we stick with that one place.
Yeah.
We are not too much of experiment people, but there's so much beautiful spots. So much.
Just driving down the road, you know, you just see something out of the corner of your eye and you're like, I want to see what's down there. I mean, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. You could find some really good swimming spots that way. Just catching like a little trail on the side of the road and then you follow it and then boom, you're on the river.
Yeah. When I was young, that was part of my childhood. The woods and then the fields, and then you ended up next to the river and you just jump in the river.
Yeah. So is it reminiscent of your childhood to sort of be in southern Vermont and just have all this like landscape to explore?
Well, our beach site is on the opposite side of where I live in Bulgaria. So if my hometown is between 3 mountains, so it's more like a little bit higher than here, let's say. There are a lot of ups and downs, but
literally
rivers are literally. And there is always something to do. Picnics, barbecues, or just go to the river, swim. The only thing that can happen to you is in the rivers we used to have this, the ones that stick on you and they suck your blood.
Like a leech?
Yes.
Yeah, a leech.
That's the only thing that could happen to you.
And you just you know, take them off and throw them back.
Nowadays, old ladies are paying actually.
Oh, I know.
That on their faces.
I mean, that's how that was a form of medicine in the medieval times. Was bloodletting. It was, yeah, just getting a leech in there.
Sometimes my grandma was using this if you have a wound and it doesn't heal right. So she puts that around the wound so they suck out the bad blood.
And I don't even think that's a thing, too. Like, I don't think your blood is bad. I think you get other things, pus or something, just things that get infected. And the leech is probably just drinking that by default. Anyway, that's a pleasant subject to think about. But I get the sense that like your family and the place you grew up in was like very traditional in a lot of ways. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes.
And what does that look like exactly for a kid growing up in the late 20th century in a very traditional small it's like a village, right?
Yes.
Village town in Bulgaria.
They were living in the village next to the town, but the town still was when I was young, before the university in my hometown. The first American university in Bulgaria actually was built in my hometown.
Really?
And then one bigger university, and the town started to bloom. So from one cafe, from one shop, we bloomed. So from, let's say, 15,000. We ended up in 150,000, the
Wow.
whole area.
Throughout the course of your childhood?
Yes.
Wow. That's
Yes.
incredible. How did that change the dynamics of life in that small town?
Well, let's talk about nightlife. It
Sure.
changed a lot.
Yeah.
But in Eastern Europe, the focus on Saturday, Friday and Saturday is mostly nightlife. But also a lot of people from Bulgaria, from different areas, came to study, came to live. We had the first foreigners that came to the American University, which was awesome. When you're a child and the only touch of the rest of the world and Hollywood and everything was the magazines, it was extremely nice to actually, after school, somebody talks to you in English and go like, yeah, I know English. I'm the first in my family that actually was allowed to study English at school. Before that was only Russian.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. I had through my childhood to growing up, I'm still learning though, but I have experienced life without phones, life with phones, the impact that it did to people, to society, to friendships, communication.
Yeah, and just how like parenting as well is a big thing, and just how younger people now communicate with each other versus like other generations, and it's hard to keep people in touch with each other of different generations.
I still remember my home number, my landline number when I was a child. It doesn't exist for 30 years and I still remember it.
Yeah, those are those early core memories that get baked into your brain whether or not you want them to be there.
Well, I must
staying.
admit that phones, Google, all this huge amount of information tricks your brain in a way of remembering, in a way of thinking, in a way of pushing yourself. It is tough. With who you argue now? Can you argue with somebody now? You don't argue. You just go like, give me a second, and you check on your phone.
It definitely it solves arguments quickly. That's for sure.
The sport is the same. You don't argue in sport anymore.
Yeah.
You don't need to argue. There are so many cameras. There are so many lines now built invisibly that you don't need to argue anymore. What is the love?
I feel like I still see people arguing, but what people are arguing about largely are things where there is no way to move the other person on their perspective. It's not like some sort of factual thing that can be convinced or proven through any physical means. It's like people, politics is a great example of people arguing about politics, and you're not gonna, and especially online too, or in person, you're not gonna move the other person necessarily, but it happens anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm blessed with the family and friends around me that we argue ever. I think that we argue ever since we were children, like 4 or 5 years old. We argue for a lot of things, and we can be very passionate, very strong, pushing your point of view, but at the end of the day, it's an argument that doesn't necessarily define you as a friend or as a part of the family. So I don't believe that arguing can ruin a friendship or something like this. We always argue, especially when we start to grow up and gather together with a drink in our hands. We argue about soccer teams, we argue about politics, but that doesn't define us as enemies at the end of the day.
No, I think if anything, it makes us have more perspectives than just our own, and we should be grateful for those moments where we get to argue. Like, I see exceptions where people are arguing about things that mean a lot to them, emotionally and personally, and then that might disrupt some relationships. But I think at the end of the day, if you can both look at each other and be like, I respect you, then arguments are only a good fuel to add to a relationship
but
with yourself.
I don't understand why now the argument and the different opinion is considered as a argument and disrespect towards the person. I do not disrespect you as a person. I may do not or disagree with your point of view, but that doesn't make me disrespect you as a person. I don't understand how the new generation confuse these two things, because your opinion and your point of view doesn't define you as a person.
Yeah, and I think just online communication, I feel like has a lot to do with that, because there's no human element of being able to talk to someone and then look in someone's eyes and like realize that you still have respect for each other. If you're only doing it over a video or audio or text or something, then you don't have that human connection.
I must say that I have respond maybe 5 times in my life towards somebody else's agenda, let's say online, with something that I deeply disagree.
Yeah.
But then again, I mind my own business, let's say. Most of my life is just a few times, less than my 2 hands, that I got passionate.
And there's no shame in that, because like you're passionate about your beliefs and the things that you respect and value in life. There's just
but just because I say them out loud doesn't make them more strong.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's something that was often confused as well, as the loudest person in the room being the most correct, and that's just not true. And I think social media enables us to be loud easier.
Well, I don't mind. If somebody disagree with me, it's okay. I disagree with a lot of people. That doesn't necessarily make me doesn't like them.
That's a great outlook. And I mean, you've done a lot of arguing and probably disagreeing with your family over the years, and I'm sure you're still very close with a lot of them.
Well, I learned a lesson when I was young. I was arguing with everybody, and it was not in my favor. So then I realized that the best thing to win them all is just to say yes, mama, yes, auntie, yes, my brother, yes to everybody.
Yeah.
And then keep doing what I want to do.
Yeah, for the sake of argument.
They wanted to hear it, I just give it to them.
Yeah, you do it out of love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And things and peace was going very strong. And yet I was doing exactly what I wanted without arguing.
You gotta pick your battles. Yeah, I've learned that growing up as well. It was also, I mean, I think most people are very rebellious when they're old enough to have, coherent thought and a brain and to make decisions, but not too old where you're like really thrust into the world and having to make tough decisions for yourself in your life. Like it's very easy to be rebellious at that stage because you want independence.
But I also was a little bit mean to my family.
I think that's common. That's very common.
Then one day I'll never forget, I was 17 and I met my parents after 4 years. And I realized that all the sacrifices that they do it for me and my brother, my sister and everybody. So that was the last time I go like, listen, that's it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
From now on, yes mama, yes papa, I love you.
And you said that to them?
I did.
Wow.
I said, I'm sorry, I have been mean, I just didn't know.
What was the defining moment for you? Was there a scenario or situation where you changed your mindset?
I was angry because when I was 13, they left to another country, and from 5 people family, I ended up with no mother, no father, and then my sister left, got married, and it was tough.
Yeah.
I was angry, I was upset, I was angry about everything.
Yeah, I understand that.
I was lucky enough, my brother, my aunt family, my cousins, they helped me through these years, but I was still very angry.
And were you the youngest of your family?
Yes,
yeah.
I'm the youngest of them all.
And you have how many siblings?
I have a brother and a sister, and I consider my cousin and my cousins and my aunt as a part of my family too, because basically they raised me.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm in a, not exactly a similar boat. Whoa, oh my God, this thing is spitting at us. Woo!
Not on the hair, please.
I promise we won't set your lawn on fire, Paul.
You're watching the hair, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
That hair was just did. We can't mess that up.
Don't mess it up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I found myself in a similar scenario where like I was being parented by people who weren't my parents, and it's a very confusing thing when you're younger. Yeah. It gives you a different viewpoint on life when, especially you see a lot of the people around you living lives that, you know, are very nuclear or traditional or whatever, and you're like, well, how come my life isn't like that? And it makes you confused and upset.
Well, I have never watched somebody else's. I mean, around me, all the neighbors, all the families, they were very supportive towards me as the youngest one. They were always looking after me, always supporting me, taking care of me, which I'm very blessed. In the small town, this to happen, you know. Every time I go home, it's not me thinking only about my home where I grew up. I'm thinking of everybody around. I'm thinking of the family on the below, family in front of us, all the families that took part of my life and actually building me as the person I am today.
Are any of them still there?
Yes, yes.
How many? Like most of them? Are most of them still there? Yeah. You go visit them and pop your head in?
I go visit them, all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm very picky at the beginning, so I go like, hi, I'm back. And go like, oh, come to eat. And I go like, what do you have today?
Who's got the best feast in the neighborhood?
So I choose accordingly who to visit first.
Yeah.
But they're awesome. I mean, it's not only by, I don't believe that people are defined only by family, by mother, father, or brother, sister. People are defined by neighborhood, by neighbors, by people you are surrounded with, people who care for you, people that I care for. My best friends, basically, we live few houses apart, and the funny thing is we always laugh that we are born friends because our parents were friends at school.
Oh my God.
So it's like dream come true, you know.
And then I'm curious, like once you left home, you traveled a lot, and then you ended up here in Vermont. But like, have you forged connections like that, like throughout your travels or here in Vermont, like that feel sort of as close and as sibling-like and as family-like as those initial connections you made in Bulgaria?
Yes. Well, that is, you cannot compare 2 years with all your life. It's a different feeling, but I feel loved here too. I feel loved. I have been blessed with Paul's family, who are always next to me in the worst days of the year. This is Easter for me and Christmas. That's the 2 worst days, because for me, these 2 days is family. Mm-hmm. Family and friends, nothing else. So it's tough, but I'm blessed to be surrounded for them to accept me in their family, which means a lot for me, especially on these days.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And I mean, you, like I sort of said earlier, I mean, you've traveled a lot as well, sort of between your origins and like now, where I feel like you've kind of settled, quote unquote. But like, what kind of connections did you make when you were out traveling, and in what different places?
Well, everywhere I go, I experience all of the culture, which a lot of times people were like shocked, because wherever I go, I'm asking questions like, how do you do it? What is your traditions, your family, your friends? What do you do? How do you do it? I want to do it like you. I want to learn more about your culture. They're like, nobody wants to learn about our culture. they already come cultivated. And I go like, what do you mean? If I want to live here, if I want to stay here, at least out of respect, I need to know what is your culture.
Absolutely.
What do you do?
Yeah.
How do you drink? Do you drink on the right? Do you drink on the left? How do you like it? So next time I invite you at home, at least it's gonna be pleasant for everybody.
It's comfortable for everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of response did you get from that?
Most of the people were shocking. The only thing, let's say in Dubai, 90% Muslim-oriented culture, mostly Morocco, Bashir, or Middle East. So I was very curious about them, asking a lot of questions. They go like, why you ask questions? Nobody cares. Well, I care.
You certainly care, yeah.
I mean, we are sitting on the table, so what is now? How do you eat? Say a prayer. Can I eat? I love pork. Can I eat my pork? Will be offensive? No, as long as you don't give it to us. And I go like, so I can bring it you with my pork. They go like, it's okay, just announce it so nobody touch it. So, and at the beginning I was not bringing pork because I know that they don't drink pork. The funny thing was one day I was a little bit hungover. In my culture, hungover to go to work is totally fine. You can get fired for garlic bread.
Yeah.
If you smell like garlic rather than being hungover.
But being hungover is like, yeah, we get it.
So I was hungover, and then there was like the fourth person at the office comes like, are you okay? You look sick. You should go home. And I go like, I'm not sick. I'm okay. I'm here. Relax. And I was on the laptop, and then one girl comes like, girl, you look very bad. Go home. You're sick. And I go like, who told you I'm sick? And I go like, well, everybody's talking that you're sick. And I go like, I'm not sick. I'm hungover. I'm like, what is this? And then I remember that they don't actually drink, so they don't know what is hungover. And I go like, I'm sick. I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. Take it if you can get it. Yeah. Where was that?
Funny. In Dubai.
In Dubai, okay. And you spent a lot of time in Dubai, right?
Yes, between Dubai and Vietnam a lot of times.
And you like, I know you ended up like basically managing a restaurant in Dubai. What was that experience like? Like, how did you get there?
Well, technically, I was a general manager, office manager in my country, in Bulgaria, with most popular nightclubs, restaurants, beach bars in my country. And I used to love my work. I loved it, and if I wouldn't left Bulgaria, I'll never quit my job. I loved my job. Unlimited access to goods. Let's start with this, with very good goods. My bosses were incredibly good people and business partners. The staff, everybody was amazing. The process of working, the frustration on a daily basis, fixing problems out of nowhere, extremely high, how you call this, stressful situations on a daily basis.
Yep. Keeps you on your toes though. It keeps you engaged, and if it's something, if you like the work itself and like the reason why you're doing it, then a stressful situation is just a challenge to overcome to get the end goal for the thing that you care about.
And one of my bosses, he always laughed like, I made you a monster, I made you a monster. And I go like, yeah, you made me a monster. I'm a good person. Now ask me nowadays how I'm doing with my straight line job. I cannot. If there is no bumps, ups and downs, I cannot handle it.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
He made me a monster, but he made me a fearless animal too.
I'm sure you really grew. You learn a lot. I mean, throwing yourself in stressful situations obviously is stressful, but you learn so much out of every single one.
So much.
Rather than just, staying complacent, staying sedentary, and skating by.
I had 1 year, I go like, that's it, I quit. I cannot live this anymore. I cannot live the stress. I cannot live this hourless, 24 hours involvement.
Yeah.
I cannot. So I quit, and I went to work in a normal office from 8 to 5. I quit after 2 months, and I call my bosses, please take me back. I don't want to work there. I cannot do this anymore.
You just had to go back, and that was in Bulgaria?
Yes.
Yeah, so obviously there's some stress associated with that I'm picking up on, but like you loved the work, and it was, you couldn't...
My stress at this office was, do I have enough paper if the project manager wants to print 200 pages? That was my stress.
Yeah.
Or if my bosses comes, do they have 2 cups of tea and homemade honey?
Yeah.
That was my stress.
It's a very different level of stress.
I cannot do this.
No, but I'm curious, like, what caused you to leave and end up going to Dubai? Because it's your home country, and it's like doing something that you really care deeply about to the point where you went back to it. But then you ended up leaving and going to Dubai and Vietnam and now Vermont. Like, what made you leave?
Love.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I moved because of Luis, Chef Luis. Mm-hmm. And I stayed a little bit in Dubai, and we moved together to Vietnam. In both of the countries, I was almost shaking hands again, doing exactly what I love, managing a bar or managing a restaurant in both of the countries. Then we took the opportunity here, and now I'm here. I'm stuck here.
Whether you like it or not.
Well, that was the question. If you have asked me this 1.5 years ago, I would say like, cut it off.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I took a lot of classes for self-love, self-discipline, and all these things. And honestly, I believe that through my whole youth, I was too focused on a career and building myself as a employee or in my work environment, and I neglected a lot of things in my personal life. Now here with all this mute of everything, of social media, of thousands of people every Friday, every Saturday, you meet here, you meet there, makes me think of changing my priorities in life. I'll still be monster in my work, that's for sure.
You can't get rid of that.
No, I cannot. But also being a little bit tough on myself, that's for sure, but pushing forward to be a better version of myself, not only at work as a professional side, but also as a personal side. Mm-hmm. I grew up and I have been blessed with a lot of my family, a lot of my friends who always, there was always somebody who helped me through life to make me who I am today, and to honor them and appreciate them. I am also a very compassionate person. I can just walk and help somebody out of nowhere just because I can, just because sometimes even if I smile and say to somebody, good day, you look great, can change the mindset, you know. So I always try to be very positive towards people. Not in the morning though, that's why I don't go out in the morning.
That's when you're quiet, you know.
Yes.
You go for a walk maybe.
No, I don't talk with people.
No, you go out for a walk in the morning.
No.
No?
No.
I mean, you're living in Halifax. I feel like you can go for a walk and not see anyone for miles and miles.
I agree with you, but that happens after 10. Before 10, I don't do too much. I drink my coffee, I read my news, read a book, do something. I force myself now with the policy no scrolling.
Yeah.
The pandemic hits me hard.
I bet.
I used to didn't have Facebook and Instagram before pandemic, like 8 years or something. I was just fine. I was doing fine. I had one fake profile just to see my nephews and my nieces, where they are, pictures of them. That was it. And the pandemic hit hard, you know. But instead of learning a language, I learned a little bit of Spanish, a little bit old. I took a lot of courses. In the pandemic, I was in Vietnam, so I took a lot of courses online. I took a lot of Excel, Word, all this Office package. I did gifted me culinary courses. He gifted me makeup courses, gifted me nails courses, which I was very blessed. And I took them all, and I took them to the limit.
Yeah.
Yes, but the scrolling still was there.
Of course. I mean, what else were you supposed to do during those times? But you also learned a lot during that time.
Yes.
You took advantage of the time. I mean, it was that year, 2 years, whatever it was such a great time to work on yourself if you weren't in the position where, it totally ruined you. Like, if it doesn't totally ruin you, it helps you grow.
Yeah, well, technically, in my country, this psychological part of your life doesn't exist too much. You don't talk too much about these things. Like, the only thing that people talk is like, a man is good if he doesn't hit you.
Yeah, it's bare minimum.
He is a good man, but nobody talks about mental issues. Nobody talks about self-improvements and all these things. It's like, for us Eastern Europeans, self-improvement is hair, nails, and salon.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't go to some meetings or whatever. You go straight to the salon all day long, booked.
Yeah. And that makes you feel, I mean, you go to the salon when you're having a bad day, I'm sure that perks you up, right?
Yes.
Like, that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So that is a way to deal with and cope with issues and problems, for sure.
Correct.
And that can just put you back in a mindset where you can process your feelings in a bit clearer of a way. So that's to say that, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's also worth saying that it's, like, important to critically think about the way you feel about certain things and the way you react to certain things and why that is. Like, why do I react this way when someone says this thing to me? And instead of making it, ruin your day and then going to the salon to make yourself feel better, you can really, like, dive into, why do I do this thing? Like, what is it about me that makes me respond to someone in a certain way?
Well, the only problem here in America is that is a very expensive privilege.
It is. You're absolutely right.
And on top of that is 3 months in advance. You cannot just walk in.
But if it's even like a practice you can do with yourself. I feel like that's something I try to really prioritize in my life, is if I react to someone in a certain way, I'm like, later on, I'm like, why did I react that way? What is it about, what did I do, like, how could I have handled that in a different way?
Yes.
That was that's less indicative of me just, like, being caught on the spot, or having some internal trauma being, like, triggered or something like that. Like, how can I like process it in the moment a little bit better next time? So it's a huge privilege to have access to mental health care in the United States, absolutely. But you're doing this without,
exactly,
without any
even
of that.
knowing that there is a mental health.
Exactly.
We don't talk about these things. Maybe now they're starting to evolve in all these things, but I don't remember even once I go to my mom, I go like, I don't feel happy, I feel sad, I don't feel in place. Goes like, go wash the dishes. You'll feel better. I go like, okay.
And again, that's that's like so valuable for in its own way, but it's not diving into it fully. And also I think it's valuable to hold space for those emotions and to acknowledge them and to be like, yes, feel that way. You're allowed to feel that way, which is maybe not something you've experienced when you were younger, but at the same time, like, that can't be it.
But I didn't know.
Right.
Exactly. At school, they don't teach you this. We study philosophy, psychology, but not at this point. All I remember from school was Freud. What was these two terms? Me efficiency and me. That's the only problem that you can have in my country.
Yeah.
Self-absorb.
Yeah, and that leads us back to like, you prioritizing your work and your career throughout a lot of your, early life.
Which I'm proud of.
Yeah, and you should be proud of it, but like those other aspects of life weren't really clear to you.
But I never knew because despite I'm very chaotic at work, it's like if you come to my desk, it's full of papers everywhere. It's very chaotic, but I'm very disciplined. When I know that Mondays have to be done, I force myself Sunday to be done. I don't agree with this. My work time is until 6, so I turn off my phone. I was available 24/7 for anybody.
Yep.
I was always like this. I was very disciplined, very pushing forward, but I never knew that I was not doing this in my personal life. I always thought that self-love is enough, but now I'm learning for self-discipline. That actually is what is stopping me in my personal life from achieving my goals. Because I go like, okay, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight since last year. And I go like, what is wrong with you? Why are you not doing it? How come you go to work and you do all the things, and then you come back home and you see the vision, you see the goal, and yet nothing has been done. So I have been very harsh on myself, which should not be the way.
Right.
Truth to be told.
But it's probably the way that you've managed to succeed in your own career, is to be hard on yourself.
Well, technically I wasn't feeling that bad.
Yeah.
Pushing towards my work environment rather than what I was experiencing, especially this year, with being so harsh on myself. That was a different level of experience, I must admit. I go like, self-love, you don't love yourself. And I was waking up and I go like, I go to work and I put the smile and I work with pleasure, and then I go home and go like, I don't want to live. There is nothing for me outside work. So maybe the change of environment, the change of my hometown, my family, my friends, maybe this is what harmed me so much. Because my friends, when we go, let's say, having a cup of coffee, and I go like, oh, you guys, and this and that, and go like, oh, boo-hoo, Ileana, oh, poor Ileana, you are the only one in the world that has a tough job, and then she cannot do this, she cannot do that, boo-hoo, grow up, move your ass. So these are my friends.
Yeah.
So they were motivating me in a harsh way.
Sure.
But they were there to help me. And now I have to figure it out by myself. So it's a little bit tough. I'm assuming for you it's tough. You moved away too. You moved too. I don't know, maybe Americans are different by moving states to states here and there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to draw a comparison, I think. I think like growing up in New England and like in very kind of earthy, crunchy towns, there's like a lot of support for people, and there's a lot of there's a lot of love that's shared, but like even despite that, like, I was a teenage boy once and all my friends and I were horrible to each other all the time. But I feel like that didn't necessarily drive me to do great things, though. You know, that wasn't the thing that drove me to be where I am now, of like my friends telling me to, you know, pick myself up by my bootstraps or whatever. But definitely, like, yeah, anytime I would move to a totally different place, granted, we're still talking just New England here.
Yeah.
You kind of start from scratch, and there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of sadness that comes along with that, for sure.
Yeah.
But I just keep telling myself, it's more of a self-motivated thing. I keep telling myself, like, this is just the short term. Like, I'm gonna build something, I'm gonna get there. Absolutely. So it's hard to draw a comparison there. And I feel like, yeah, from what you say, the dynamic, the social dynamics of how friends support each other from where you're from is very different. Because even though, you know, my friends when I was a teenager were very harsh, and we were very harsh to each other, that is not the case at all anymore.
I do love them though. And then before the pandemic, right before I met Luis, I ended up 8 years mental abuse relationship which I didn't know about it, that exists.
Oh, I see. You were just like, I guess this is normal.
So I ended up in my hometown, and all my friends were together, and they go like, finally, welcome home. Good. And I go like, you guys, you crazy, why you didn't tell me earlier? They go like, well, you weren't there to listen, so it was pointless.
And sometimes you can't hear those things when you're in an abusive relationship like that.
They were all there, and I welcome home.
That's good. Yeah, and like, despite the rough exterior, like, they really do care about you, you know, and that's what's important. And that's just how you communicate with each other, I think. And that's beautiful. Like, I love arguing with you because I feel like we can be arguing, or it feels to me like we're arguing, and then I realize halfway through, oh, we're saying the same thing. Yes. We're arguing the same point. We're on the same page here, but it just sounds like arguing to me. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I keep going with it, but I'm like, oh, we're not actually arguing.
I love to argue. I love to argue, and most of the times I argue about things that I know.
Yeah.
When I was young, this is how I got hooked up with the library. So the library was on the other side of my home street. So I just crossed the street and I'm in the library. So I started at the beginning to hide there because in the summer, in the library was always cold. And I used to love the smell of old books. So there was one grandpa working there, and he was always like, what you doing here? And I was like, I don't know. And then he had all these books, and I go like, well, I'm here anyway. Can I help you at least with the books? And he goes like, do you know anything about books? And I go like, no, only the ones from school. I mean, everybody's working. Nobody cares about me. I'm the little one. Nobody even remembers that I exist. So he started to show me. So this book is this. It goes here. It goes there. It goes there. You should read this. This is a very good book. So he started to make me passionate about these things. And then when I gain enough self-confidence, let's say, and I was arguing with my friends or with my family, even my father, he goes like, you don't know a thing. Get out, you don't know a thing. And I go like, I don't know a thing. I'm arguing with you because I know. I'm your daughter. You're the same.
Yep.
I'm telling you I know. You don't know a thing. You go back to school and learn. And then I used to go back to the library and I go like, listen, I need to win this argument. I have seen this, I know this. I need to see it, I need to find the book, and I need to show it. And then I started to create this. Sometimes I used to lose like 2-3 weeks just to search for the sentence that I need to say, for history or anything that exists, philosophy, whatever it is. The library was my Google.
Yeah. You couldn't just look it up.
No, which was so fascinating and addictive. It was so addictive. And I started to argue more so I can go back to the library. And then at some point, the grandpa at the library goes like, oh, Lana, you argue with somebody again? What are we looking for now? I'm like, I know I'm right.
What kind of things would you argue about? Like, is it mostly like history and politics?
Mostly history.
Yeah.
Politics, I have never been into politics, despite history is very associated with politics.
Sure, but that's more of like the facts about it rather than the subjective take on things. Yeah.
But along with stupid things, like for example, is our biggest, the highest mountain is called Musala, and it's 4 times bigger than Burj Khalifa. And we argue about this, like how many meters it is. You cannot just Google it and say, like, I remember. And I go, like, you remember 50 years ago you were in school? I'm telling you, I just read the book, I was in school. Or we argue, is it the biggest in the Balkans? Mostly of things in the Balkans, or I don't know, stupid things that now nobody even cares about. Like if there is a tornado somewhere, or if there is a tsunami somewhere, or if there is an earthquake somewhere, how the waters from where they're gonna go and do whatever. We used to argue for things that now nobody cares. They just see them on the TV.
Yeah, but once you get in that argument, there's no getting out.
No. Until I prove my point.
Exactly. And that's what I love about you.
Yeah, I argue. I mean, it is good to argue, and I don't see like, but don't get offended. And I go like, I am offended, but not from you. I'm offended of your point of view.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. I mean, we arguing. What's the problem? I argue every morning after Saturday nightclub, 6 a.m. in the morning with a taxi driver about politics. You crazy? I stay with him 30 minutes in front of my home arguing for politics. They go like, what do you mean? And I go like, I argue with strangers all the time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily mean that I have some hate or whatever. I don't have hate to anything.
That's just what drives you.
Yes. Yeah. The only hate I can have is toward myself. That's it.
And that's what you're working on.
Yes.
And that's really, really awesome to see that like you're in a position here and at this point in your life, in this place, where you really have a lot of time and space to work on yourself. And I think that's huge.
Huge.
So like to just sort of, I don't know, tie that right onto the last thing I want to ask you is like, where do you see yourself in the future? Like whether that's a physical place or where do you see yourself as a person? Like where do you see yourself kind of ending up?
Well, I see myself as a working hard, successful person. I will not define a woman because that is not defined by a gender. I already passed this, you're a woman, you cannot be, I already passed this. I'm looking forward and I'm moving forward and I'm pushing forward, being a better version of myself in my work environment, in my personal environment. That's why all these projects that we have together, cooking for a cause, all these projects, they are towards partially for my personal health and partially for my work environment health. I believe that we're gonna achieve a lot of success and a lot of improvements in people's lives here, I believe. I was blessed to have the hand when I was young, and I really want to pass it to somebody in need, in any occasion, in front of the camera, behind the camera, I don't mind. And I want to give the help as the one I had when I was young, to make me who I am today. And who I am today, I'm just a working person looking forward to achieve the stars by improving mentally and in personal life.
I can see that too, even in the like the 9 months or so that I've known you. I can see you like actively working toward those goals, and literally just being here, right now, talking to me is like, you wouldn't have done that like a year ago.
Nope.
No. And you've come a long way, I think.
A few months ago, not even.
Exactly.
My first interview was for last month.
Yeah,
actually.
being in front of the camera. And I feel like being in front of the camera, I feel like that's all part of the self-love that you're like really teaching yourself. I think so, because you're putting yourself out there and you're like being perceived. And if you don't like the way that you feel or look or feel comfortable in your own skin, you sure as hell are not going to want other people to perceive you.
Well, I always have like a very high expectations and very high beliefs of myself. That's true. I have never have this even in front of Luis. I have never asked him, how do I look? Do I look good? I always look flawless in front of him.
Yeah.
What I'm fighting is between me and the mirror. I have never shown these insecurities in front of everybody, because if I say to somebody, they will look me with different eyes. So this fight is not to be shared with anybody. This fight is to be fought with you. When you cannot win it, you go to your best friends and go like, oh, what to do? And then go like, boo, boo, wake up.
A little bit of tough love.
Yes, tough love. I'm a generation of tough love. That's how it goes. My nieces, my nephews, they're not like this. You go a little bit like, you pinch them and they go like, I'm gonna die. They're so funny. They're different generations, so you cannot judge them as you or the opposite. But yes, I'm a tough love.
And I think your experience will, one, it draws you to like help them in the ways that you were helped when you were a kid, and then two, it draws you to better yourself. If you want to help this younger generation and these nieces and nephews, you got to like work on yourself first before you're able to do that. So there's a lot of reasons why you are where you are right now, and why you're working toward this.
Was buying them everything. The new me. I set up a rule 6 years ago. I give unlimited source of vegetables, fruits, and books. Everything else you want, you receive once per year on your birthday. No, 2 times, birthday and Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Good compromise.
Everything else, no lollipops, no sugar, no chocolates, no nothing. We go to the supermarket, we buy whatever you want, fruit, vegetables, and then the bookstores, any book you want. I don't spare money for these things. But for all these Barbies and all these crazy things, Legos, no. I don't see the point of teaching anything. So they learn. At the beginning they were a little bit upset, but they learn now. And they're looking forward when they see me. Will I come with a book, or will I come with the fruit of what I have been? So they taste the fruit and go like, from where is this fruit? And I go like, that's from Bali. Oh, is that true? And you have been there, and how is there? And I go like, it's amazing. And then they start to use their brains at some point. Go like, I went to school and asked my teacher, and she showed me on the map, where is Bali? It's very far.
But it gives them inspiration and intrigue in the world around them, which is going to make them become a better person. So
well, at the beginning they were a little bit upset, because let's face it, a normal family cannot afford to buy them fruit that allegedly cost 15 times more than a banana, and then they may like it and they may not like it. And that's why I stepped in and I go like, okay, let's give it a try of this. This is maracuya. And they were eating. Go like, and I go like, so? Go like, I kind of don't like it. Go like, it's okay. It's okay. You don't need. But now you know what is maracuya and how it tastes, and you know that you don't like it. It's okay. And I go like, it's okay. I'm not your mother. I'm not your father. It's okay.
No one's getting upset here about that.
Exactly. They were funny at the beginning, but now they know.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, Lana, thanks for sitting by the fire.
Thank you
this is
for
nice.
having me. I know that I was not your first choice by default.
Well, I'm glad that it shook out the way it did. I'm very, very glad.
Thank you for having me.
It's been awesome just like working with you and just spending time with you the last couple months while Luis has been gone.
It means a lot for me too.
Yeah, good.
Especially now since Luis is gone.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's going to be my next victim here on BCTV By The Fire.
Well, him
sure of it.
or Paul,
Yep.
you can choose.
Yeah, that's right. All right.